Bonjour. Alors, voici ce que je fais avec mes perspectives. J'analyse. On joue? On joue à comprendre qui l'on est vraiment, dans le fond? On y va. Commande.
Donald Trump threatened to jail election officials over his demented voter fraud lies, and he was asked a very simple question about childcare that showed just how broken his brain is. For more on this, it's time for a closer look.
Closer look.
If you follow politics at all, you may have noticed a familiar ritual that plays out every few weeks or so. Donald Trump says something insane or incoherent or wildly offensive about crowd size.
Crowd.
Or fallen soldiers.
Hannibal, lecteur. Qu'est-ce que vous lisez là-dedans, maintenant?
Or Hannibal Lecter, or the price of bacon going.
Ah, le prix du bacon, hein, bacon.
Up because the wind.
Oui, on peut le faire de tellement de manières différentes. Demandez-moi les degrés de différence. On y va? Souffle.
Doesn't blow, or shark attacks that are caused by electric boat batteries that sink in the ocean and electrocute people unless they swim away from the bat.
Les gens. Batterie. Batterie. Le sens du courant. On y va? Où est-ce que je m'arrête là?
Toward the shark, because sharks are attracted to electricity, just like Hannibal Lecter is attracted to human flesh, like it's bacon blowing in the wind. Anyway, that's all real stuff he said. He's running for president. He's tied in the polls. And that's all real stuff he said in real life. And by the way, new polling says that 28% of likely voters need to hear more about where Kamala Harris stands on the issues, and that's fair, and she should address that. But if you're wondering what her opinion on wind vis-a-vis the price of bacon is, she doesn't have one. Nobody has one but him. Anyway, the ritual is this. Trump's sundowning mush brain belches out a series of unintelligible noises, and then Republicans go on TV and they just plead with him. Focus on policy.
What's your one best piece of advice for Brett, for you, for the Trump campaign?
Keep the debate focused on policy.
I think President Trump needs to stay focused on his policy.
You've got to make this race not on personalities. Stop questioning the size of her crowds and start questioning her position.
President Trump can win this election. His policies are good for America, and if you have a policy debate for president, he wins. Donald Trump, the provocateur, the showman, may not win this election.
Donald Trump, the showman, may not win this election, but that doesn't mean he can't still take me to vaudeville for our two-man comedy routine. I sit in his lap, dressed like a ventriloquist.
Oh, yeah. Ventriloque.
And I say stuff like, hey, dolls.
Hey, idiot.
Stick to the issues. Then he says, shut up, dummy, and don't forget, you need me more than I need you, and if you don't get a line, you'll be out on your ass without a pot to piss in, and the audience, they just laugh and laugh. There's no way you guys actually believe what you're saying, right? I mean, Donald Trump can't focus on policy. He'd have an easier time doing one of Simone Biles' signature moves. Okay, let's see a roundup, under the takeout board, followed by a back handspring with a half turn, under the table, into a double twisting somersault in a stretch position. Okay, I think I got it, and here we go. Oh, God, I pretzeled myself. Trump can't focus on policy because he can't focus, period, and he has no policies. Case in point, during an appearance at the Economic Club of New York last week, he was asked a very simple question about childcare. It's obviously a super important issue for all those regular working class families in swing states that pundits are always obsessing over, and considering how Republicans claim they're the party of both the working class and families, you think Trump could at least feign a coherent answer. See if you can follow whatever the hell he's talking about here. And I should note, this is a long clip, but I think it's important to play the whole thing.
If you win in November, can you commit to prioritizing legislation to make childcare affordable? And if so, what specific piece of legislation will you advance?
Well, I would do that, and we're sitting down. You know, I was somebody, we had Senator Marco Rubio, and my daughter Ivanka was so impactful on that issue. It's a very important issue, but I think when you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, that, because look, childcare is childcare. It's couldn't, you know, there's something, you have to have it. In this country, you have to have it. But when you talk about those numbers compared to the kind of numbers that I'm talking about by taxing foreign nations at levels that they're not used to, but they'll get used to it very quickly. And it's not going to stop them from doing business with us, but they'll have a very substantial tax when they send product into our country. Those numbers are so much bigger than any numbers that we're talking about, including childcare.
And guys, I have some really bad news. That was only half the clip. We still have
A whole minute. Allez, bonne journée, amusez-vous bien, bye bye.